Hello, my name is Rick. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you rock lick number 1, and then afterwards I'm going to explain my thought process behind what will hopefully be 1,000 rock licks, as well as 1,000 blues licks, and also how I'm going to change some things in my channel moving forward. If you want to stick around, find out about that. Otherwise, I'll probably do a dedicated video talking about that too. So the lick is... So let me get right to it and show it to you. And then again, if you want to stick around for the little discussion later, you can. So it's an E minor, good old rock key. 7th fret on the high E. So you're going to do a hammer-on pull-off here, 7 to 8 to 7 on the high E. Just picking down. Then you're going to go to 10 on the B to 8 on the B. And then kind of a similar motif here. Hammer-on pull-off, 7 to 8 on the B. So far. And then just 9, 7 on the G. And then end on the 9 on the G. So that's the first half. I might be muting, let's see. Yeah, I'm muting a little bit with my right hand here, kind of palm mute, but part of what I'm going to go into about these licks here is I want you to kind of take these ideas and then just run with them and do your own thing. So try muting, try not muting. Add a pinch harmonic on the end if you want. And then the second half here, 4th fret on the G. So we're in kind of this descending thing here. 4 to 5 on the G. 7 on the D. Go back to 4 on the G. And then you're going to go 5 to 7 on the D. 4, 5 on the D, and then 7 on the A string. Or that. This one I think sounds pretty cool muted, but again, feel free to try it different ways. If I didn't mute it, you could do that. So I got the whole lick. I'll play it slower right now. So yeah, cool lick. I think anyway. Just a good old E minor, kind of could be a metal lick or a rock lick. So let me explain. I'll go into a little bit of a tangent here if you want to stick around. If not, just shut off the video right now. So as I've been going along this YouTube journey for the last 4 months, I started 4 months ago. Yeah, it's like anything. You learn as you go. You develop opinions or perspectives or whatnot. Although I'm happy with what I put out, I'm very cognizant of the fact. I'll give you an example. So today, this week, I was going to do Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. What can you say? It's amazing, Jimi Hendrix. But I'm very aware that there's other great YouTube channels. Like Justin Guitar and Marty Schwartz, and I love The Art of Guitar. They put out amazing videos, and I don't have any, what's the word? Maybe not desire. I don't have any illusions that I'll have, a million subscribers someday. So, my main thing is I own music school, and I teach guitar, and I'm happy doing that right now. In the past, I played in, tons of bands, played every weekend for over a decade, that kind of thing. So I have, I do have some career intentions with this channel, but it's mostly for fun and to augment my personal students' learning, and it's kind of a creative outlet for me. and I think it can be of some value. But I started to think more about what can I offer personally that maybe some other people aren't. And that gets pretty tricky because there's thousands of guitar YouTube channels, right? So how do you be unique in that? Well, I think one of the best things I can do is just show. I'll give you one example. So the licks, if I were to show you like 50 or 100 or 200 licks that I made up myself, or I just got from somebody else and then twisted around in a little bit, and then when I deliver them to you, you twist them around and make them your own. To me, that's a little more original than if I were just to show you like, well, here's a lick that was the intro lick for Stairway to Heaven, or something, which is awesome too. But it doesn't really have the stamp of maybe some little personal twist that I could, impart to you. And again, the way I'm looking at it is that, I'd much rather have like a couple thousand subscribers that are really getting something useful and they feel like that this is a cool channel they can come back to every week and get something out of, than, if I had 100,000 subscribers, but I was just putting out videos of the same old, well, here's another Metallica song and here's another Jimi Hendrix song. I don't know if by the way, that's why I was so hesitant for all these years to even start a YouTube channel. I'm like, what's the point? There's like a gazillion, people out there teaching, Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin or whatever. Yeah, another thing, I'll get to this later in another video, but so I've written a few books. This is one of them, if you're interested. So this book, I don't know if you can read the subtitle. So it's Secrets of the Electric Guitarist. Everything I've learned about playing guitar and being a musician for over 35 years, except how to play guitar. Sounds funny at first, right? So playing, practicing, writing, recording, performing, equipment, health, business, finances, musicians' finances. The idea is that when I've been teaching private lessons over the years, students would ask about, tube amps, or they'd ask about starting a band, or, anything like that. And at first I thought it was kind of wasting their time by not teaching them how to play guitar, but I realized it's all intertwined. So that's how that was like the impetus to write this book. And so I'll talk about that. I'll probably just do a dedicated video about the book sometime. But what I'm thinking is that over time, it only makes sense for me to cover basically every topic in that book in YouTube lessons, because it's coming from a personal perspective. I think that's going to be more interesting, hopefully maybe resonate with more people if I talk about specific things like, oh man, this one time I went, to play this gig and, blah, 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 I showed up late, somebody showed up late, something wasn't working, a piece of gear wasn't working, what do you do? Like I can have maybe a little more conviction in imparting something that might be useful by personal experience. So anyway, hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what I want to do. On the lick front, my idea, and I've had this idea roughly for quite a while, but my idea is to just number these licks: rock lick number 1, rock lick number 2. I think we'll do the same thing with blues, and then either I'll write a book that has the licks in them, separately, 2 different books, or one book with all, maybe 200 licks or whatever, or I might have them on my website. We'll see. And then the idea there is a couple of things, and again, I'm going to ramble on a little bit here right now, and I'll maybe do another video talking about the exact same thing in case somebody didn't click on this one. So with the licks, the cool thing there is that I can tie them together, and so then and have like an overall comprehensive vision to give to you. Like, here's how I think of if you're in a rock band, rock soloing atmosphere, and you want to solo in E minor for this whatever. I can just tie personal ideas together, whether I'm talking about tempo or articulation or various things, or am I using pentatonic but then I go into diatonic, or was I doing Dorian here or whatever. Again, if I'm doing these licks and giving them to you, I think that's just going to be a more comprehensive thing. So if you were to visit this channel every week, maybe not every single lick will tie together, but in general, I have a kind of a bigger picture. And this is what I do with my personal students. So it does build on each other, and that's one of the main things I don't like, or again, was a hesitation about doing YouTube, is that all this content is so far, or so often unrelated. You know, even the videos I've done up to this point, it's like, here's a song, here's a lick, here's a scale. So with licks, again, well, I'll jump to another topic now. So with licks, what's really awesome is that if I just give you, okay, here's 100 licks. Well, within the teaching of the licks, I can teach technique, I can teach theory, I can teach, you know, various things that are contained within the licks. Actually, this is something I wrote an article about years ago, that I really like this idea of licks as like the destination. Like when you walk onto stage or go into the recording studio, you're playing a lick, but like, well, what's in the lick? Oh, there's technique involved, and there's maybe even tone involved, and of course theory, you know, what scale are you in, that kind of stuff. And so instead of just teaching, you know, a scale separately, which to me is only so exciting, oh, here's a lick, oh, it came out of this scale. So for example, these licks today, this lick, if you want to call it, came out of E minor. I could get more specific and show you which patterns, but I could do that later. But so yeah, there's a bigger overall picture where I think, again, I'd rather get fewer people that really get something out of this, come back every week and maybe really see progress building, rather than, again, with YouTube, it's like, I think people just search for, you know, whatever this, you know, Green Day song or whatever. So that's kind of a couple things there. It's a comprehensive, I can tie things together and make it more useful for you. Also with the simplicity of just numbering the licks, you know, rock lick number 1, rock lick number 2. Later on, whether it's in a book form on my website, whatever, I can make a playlist here, and then you can put the two together. I think it'll be a great combination. You can go, oh yeah, I've done the first 40 licks. Let's work on 41 today. Boom, here's a YouTube video. Boom, here's the, you know, the tab of it. So that's another aspect. And then another really important aspect is that I want you to be able to take these ideas and then make them into your own, you know, be creative with them. I think that's much more fun. So if you're doing like this kind of lick here, we did today, that's the rhythm I was teaching, but you don't have to do that. I think the cool thing is you could just mess around. So you might get an idea, or you might go like, let's say, oh, I like that, let's say that idea. You might go, oh, what if I moved it down, or... So that's kind of part of the idea too with the licks, where again, I think if you learn a specific lick, like I always use this example. It's a cool lick, but here's an example. If I use, what was it? I played this for a while. Like the beginning, I think the Leper Messiah lick from Metallica. I haven't done it for a while, but anyway, it's so specific that, like, imagine if you were playing like in a cover band or a bar band, and you walked out on the stage. Like, are you going to use that lick in, like, you know, 7 songs? Probably not. It's so specific, you know. Now, granted, you could change that lick too and make it your own and stuff, but I think it's just, yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, I totally understand if this channel is not for everybody, but I think the way for me to do my best job personally to give you a handful of people out there, hopefully, you know, maybe a couple thousand over time, who knows, something that's really useful. I think that's more exciting to me, hopefully more exciting to you. So again, whereas if I showed you, you know, a cool, you know, Skynyrd song or Smashing Pumpkins or Van Halen even, and I'll probably do that stuff too. I'm sure it'll be fun to do that. But here's another thing too, is I can tie that in to this other bigger picture comprehensiveness. So maybe I'm teaching you some blues licks, and maybe it's got a certain, like, you know, thing going on, and I go, oh, well, obviously that's kind of a Jimi Hendrix kind of sound, or, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan also did that too. So then I can tie in the songs to the stuff. So yeah, maybe bear with me a little bit. I think I'm kind of just, this is a funny way of looking at it, but I think what I had this light bulb moment of heading in this new direction. I thought of like when you first learn how to play guitar, you learn cover songs, and eventually you want to start writing your own music, and you start, wanting to be expressive in your own way. Of course, not everybody, but that's a common thing, is to want to write your own music and stuff. So, in the same way, that's always just something I've leaned towards. I played in tons of cover bands and stuff, but I've always really got the most out of writing music, and just trying to be creative, and like with the books I've written and stuff, and even with my music school, it's a business, but it's a creative, fun endeavor for me. Like right now, we're actually gonna be building a stage within my music school soon, so that's a new exciting thing. Any of my personal students that don't know that they're watching this, you can ask me about that. So to me, creativity is the number one thing, and that's maybe another aspect where maybe I'm a little bit at odds with teaching just content that already exists. Meaning, like, here's these AC/DC songs, here's these minor pentatonic scales. It's all great. I think, especially where you are in your journey, definitely learn those things. But I think it's more my truer nature to try to push myself a little bit creatively and be more personable and whatnot. So we'll see. If I make another video about this, maybe I'll just edit it and chop it up and put up. I'm sure you can guess what I'm talking about. If I make another video, the advantage is that I can use the keywords of what I'm talking about. Whereas if I just put rock like number one, you get the idea. So have fun with that lick. And thanks as always for watching and subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, that would be fantastic. And any thoughts about what I just talked about, feel free to leave in the comments below. I'd be happy to talk, get a discussion going here and all that good stuff. So, thanks a lot.